Welcome to Bassmaster Fishing, Lake Hartwell, episode 17. I believe I said the last episode was 17, but that was 16. This is 17, episode 17. Now, I've done 17 hour-long episodes of me fishing hotspots in this game, new hotspots that not a lot of people know about, that haven't been made public until recently on mostly my channel. Well, pretty exclusively on my channel. Okay, so Hartwell is it's the only DLC lake that has got legendaries for all the extra species. All the non-bass species do have legendary catches. So this is just normal weather, cloudy weather, and we'll fish from 7 a.m. to 1500. I'll show you where I fished the Open. I won the last Hartwell Open, and this is where I went. You come over here to the dock with the 3 blue barrels and the Half Moon Crescent Bridge. And you pitch under this bridge until you catch like a high 14, 15, or 16. What I did for the first 2 rounds, because it worked in the first 2 rounds, but then it stopped working in the 3rd and 4th round. And I had to go to other spots too. But then I came here in the 1st and 2nd round. I went there, and then I came here. And you can long or medium pitch, and they're usually by this bank, but they can be out there too. Some of the bigger ones can be out there, kind of towards the middle. And the 1st and 2nd round of Hartwell, I just went back and forth catching giant largemouth. But I've decided that for this episode, I'm going to take you to some other hotspots that are farther north. Spots that I enjoy fishing just as much as those two. I got the missile bait bow. I don't think I've ever used this. So you can watch my map if you want to know exactly where I'm going. Now I'm going to the left. And there's the big island in the center of the map. I used to think this little island was something special, but maybe there's a legendary or 2 cruising around it from time to time. But there's no competitive spots on this island. Nothing that's gonna, help you win the online Open. But you come over to this and you follow the buoys. I've had people tell me on this spot that they caught Cosmo right away. I believe Cosmo is the 3rd largest legendary largemouth bass. But I'll show you a wonderful hotspot. It's just a little unfortunate for the sake of the online tournament or Royale or anything, that it is about as far away from the dock as you can possibly get. It's at the far northwestern reaches of this map. Okay, so you follow the buoys until you hit this dock with the boat. You come to this boat here and you just turn a sharp right. And you come to this point here. You kind of park off it, and you get fairly close up to it. I would use one of these two. A 3/16 jig head or Ned rig, and a 4/0 with a tremor shad or the Jenko swim bait. They both will work fabulously here. You can, Alexa, stop. You can use other lures, you can try them. I don't know if it really matters. I've never tried anything but these two here. Now let me show you what's going on this spot. I will show you another spot as well. And that's basically going to be the video. This spot for like 30 minutes. And the next spot. And I do use the next spot. I have used it to win the Hartwell Open.
You have caught an absolute hydrilla.
Let's see if I can show you what's going on here, basically. With the school of fishing here, it also gets like giant trophy largemouth bass. And as I was told by one of my viewers, Cosmo shows up here from time to time as well. And my viewer caught him. All right, we start out with a 10-pound trophy largemouth bass. I think you just got to cast around a little bit before you actually find the active pocket of fish. And I think you'll see that it's really quite an impressive spot to fish on Hartwell. I nearly caught a legendary spotted bass here, but it was one of the only legendary fish that I have ever actually accidentally busted off.
Big fish, and no whammy.
All right, so I'm going to change to the Jenko. It looks like a bunch of panfish have appeared. That's never a good sign. When your hotspot turns to all panfish. I just pitched way off to the left. I didn't mean to. Let's just get a quick look. And before I leave here and just assume that it's going to be all panfish, I do want to change my lure and give it a few casts and just make sure that it's not going to come alive again. But it seems like no matter what, there's always a ton of fish in here. But it's usually kind of a lot of bass. There's one. He came out of nowhere. I went for the Jankolistic swim bait. But I'm used to seeing, oh, this could be a big one. No, he's like maybe 12 or 13, something like that. It would not be the best fish during the open. Yeah, he jumped. He's only like 12 pounds or less. Yeah, he's a 10-pounder.
Found Basszilla.
So I'm really not sure what Dovetail Games isn't doing right now. I know they're doing a train sim game, and they're doing like DLC for it right now, and they're in the middle of working on Train Simulator 6, where you get to drive a locomotive and a train behind it, and you get to basically operate a train, and you get to like watch all the virtual landscape as you ride by and everything. It's such a different game from Bassmaster and Fishing SimWorld and all the fishing games that they've done. It what they're doing now is such a it's such a different kind of game. It almost seems like it's more for like geared towards
What do you got?
maybe a European taste in video gaming than an actual American taste. But I sure hope one of these days they decide to get back to us Americans and give us another like SimWorld or Bassmaster, especially Bassmaster. Because we love Bassmaster here in the States. We love this game. It's just, it is a wonderful game. And some of us compete in that tournament every month.
You're gonna have a few competitors trembling with that toe.
There's a big one. This is one of the ones I was talking about. An absolute gorilla, an ape of the highest quality. Oh my goodness, what is this? This is a 16, guys. Look at that fat chub. He's a monster. Oh my goodness. This will be 16 plus. No doubt about it. I was wrong.
Check out the green beast from beneath.
And Bassmaster tricks me again. Still a nice bass. Well worth catching. It seems as though the largemouth have returned and they're on the chew. But my little TV show is all about Bassmaster, and today I've done 3 episodes.
What do you got?
I've done a St. John's episode, I've done a Seminole episode, and I'm doing a Hartwell episode. Because I had a lot of free time today, and it's what I wanted to do. I have a heartbeat with this bass, its trophy at least. What is it going to be? It's like a 10-pounder. It's not a gargantuan gluttonous gourmand. This is like a medium-sized trophy. I'm just tempted to snap him off. Seven-pounder, small trophy.
Super bass.
When are we going to get into the real pigsty here? And the largemouth have certainly returned. You can see him in there. It's one of the best places to fish that I know of on all of Hartwell. Although I didn't use it during the tournament because it was not convenient. Like, you know, you have to go a couple minutes out of your way to get here. Not because it wasn't good, but because it wasn't convenient for time. But I intend on fishing about 30 minutes here. And about 30 minutes on a spot that I do use during the Hartwell Open. So some of you may know Trouble Man from Bassmaster, the online open. The guy that seemingly always wins. Well, I sent him a friend request on Xbox, and he accepted. And we're friends, and we talk on Xbox every once in a while. And I recently asked him if he'd be interested in making a Bassmaster YouTube channel with his PlayStation and just like record all his best catches with his PlayStation and just send it over to YouTube for the rest of us to see, for the rest of us, to learn from. And I just sent that about an hour ago, so I'm sure when he gets around to his Xbox, he'll see it and shoot me back a message. So let's hope we get another Bassmaster YouTuber going here, because George is a many times over champion of the online open, and it would just be wonderful if he would post even just his legendary catches, to YouTube. I think it would be very helpful and beneficial for the rest of us who all want to know where he's fishing. So cross your fingers, and if you believe in prayer, say a little prayer, because if George started a YouTube channel, it would be epic. Over time, it would be the best Bassmaster YouTube channel ever. Because the truth is that these days, the game is about 4 years old now, and there's a lot of knowledge about this game. Not all knowledge, we don't know everything about Bassmaster yet. Whoa. But there's way more knowledge about Bassmaster. Is this legendary? What is this? It looks just like Rhino, I'll tell you what. No, wow, it totally fooled me. I thought that was like a 17-pounder. No. It was Mr. 10-pounder. But we know much more about Bassmaster than we did even just a couple years ago as a community of Bassmaster players and Bassmaster Fishing 2022, the game owners. Some of us have dug really deep into the game, and this is a legendary spotted bass. You can tell by that hump. It's got shoulders. That hump on its head. It's gobbling.
Boom shakalaka.
Hello. He's pretty. Let's take a pic. Oh, I can't because I'm recording. Well, I guess we must be pitching in the right spot. See if I can grab a 16 out of here, perhaps. Perchance, if I can grab a legendary largemouth bass. And I know they're here because one of my viewers told me he got one here. And we have more on YouTube now than we ever have for this game. And yet there's still so much that, we don't know. And I just think that there is a real place for someone like George, Trouble Man, on YouTube. There's a real, almost like need for it. Need for him to, post his videos to a YouTube channel. He does it for Xbox app. He mainly posts to Xbox. But we'll see what he says when he responds. If he would at all be interested in that, because I know he posts to the Xbox app, so I don't know why he wouldn't want to do YouTube. YouTube is where everyone's going to see it. Like everyone that looks into outdoor video games, it's where they're all going to see, the videos that he does get. So I suggested it, and I even requested it of him, that he would make a channel with his PlayStation on YouTube. So I think it could be epic. And just maybe he'll be willing to do it. Oh dear, that was a slob. All right, he's not that big, but you get the idea of what's going on here. 90% of the fish I've caught have been trophied largemouth. Another 10-pound largemouth. And I just am not getting into like the giant largemouth bite. And you know why I think? Because they just have not spawned in yet. This is only 9:50 in the morning. Oh, hello. This could be one. And sometimes they don't throw these big ones at you for, quite some time. You just got to be patient sometimes. And then other times they never do appear, even on the best spots. And it's just that kind of a day and that kind of weather that it's just one of those kind of bad days, even on the best spots. That does occur in Bassmaster. You do just simply get off days. No, they tricked me again. I thought that was a beast, but it was not to be. Many people make videos for Fishing Planet. And I mean, Scuba Dave does, KP Shimino, and Road Warrior. They do extensive videos on the competitions, and Bo Angles. He does Fishing Planet. They all do Fishing Planet. All the big guys, Scuba Dave, Bo Angles, Road Warrior, KB Shimino, they all do that, and none of them do this game. And it's like they avoid it like the plague, And I admit, Bassmaster's got some real issues. But overall, I don't think you can argue that it's not the best American sport bass fishing game ever made. As far as the underwater camera goes, it's the best underwater camera fishing game ever devised. So I'm really not sure why those guys avoid it like they do. But I mean, there's no question that they do. Bo Angles was the only one. He did a few videos on it, but he never really got into doing long shows like he does with Fishing Planet. I mean, that's his jam. And he just, he made a few brief videos about this game, and since then he hasn't touched it. Okay, this is the first real Hartwell pig. Look at that pigsty of a pig. He's a gargantuan, gluttonous gourmand. This will be a 15 or a 16, almost for sure. And I just had to wait a little while. And they even threw a legendary spotted bass at me to keep me, interested. Oh, wow, that doesn't look that big. 15. A really nice bass. But it was not quite 15, so I'm a little concerned. Nevertheless, let's continue with this largemouth hotspot here on Hartwell. Also, this is one of my personal favorite spots on the whole of Hartwell, and Hartwell is big. It's beautiful too. It's one of the prettier lakes in the game. And it has its own look. The water's kind of like yellowish greenish. It's got a different looking kind of watercolor than any other lake or river in the game. It has a very, very unique look to it. It reminds me a little bit of Hamilton with all the boathouses and just the scenic kind of aesthetic beauty of it. Hartwell's, I think it's one of the prettier lakes in the whole game. And it's another largemouth bass. Or is this spotted? But I want you to try this one out. It's a point. It's kind of like a curve, but it is a point of sorts. And these fish are just off the point. A viewer told me caught Cosmo here, and now I just caught Goblin first thing in the morning. And it's nonstop trophies, so there is a promise kind of here of really giant trophies. So far, it's been 10-pound trophies, and the biggest one was a 14-14. So a practical 15. When on Hartwell, you can get up to 16. But not much bigger than that. You might catch a 16 too. And that's the absolute max size of trophy you will catch here.
That toe right there, that's a little choke pin.
As a matter of fact, we can check where the legendaries start is 16.5. So the absolute largest trophy you're ever going to catch on Hartwell for largemouth will be about 16 pounds. If you get over that, you done did something. Like if you get a 16.2 in the middle of the open or something, or during some competition, you'll probably get the largest trophy bass award. But you see how I'm doing. This is a tremor shad with a 4-aught. And I'm just constantly catching trophy after trophy. And a lot of them are spotted. But I am catching trophy after trophy largemouth as well. It's just one of those fun spots, on Hartwell. And I have checked about 90% of this whole lake. I'm not going to tell you I've checked. Oh my goodness gracious. Look at that thing. Is that as big as it looks? Oh, no, he jumped. He's not over 10 to 12 pounds. Another 10-pound trophy. And it seems as though I've caught over 7 or 8 of these things so far. So, I mean, you can see the promise is here. The promise of a real, true, like 16 plus legendary.
There be a Basswatch sighting.
No heartbeat on this fish. He hit on the drop. I'm gonna try to let him go. Oh, it's an average largemouth. So another largemouth bass.
Not gonna say anything with that one, but it's a solid keeper. Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's probably not nothing but a 10-pounder though. I'm gonna try and get him. No, he snubbed me. He was having none of that. Okay, so it is time to move. I just thought that it was absolutely imperative for me to show my people that watch me, my subscribers, and anyone else who watches me who would like to know a fun place to fish on Hartwell, a place where I call Goblin and others have caught Cosmo. This is definitely a hot spot for bass. In particular, there's some other species here, but mostly panfish and, you know, the occasional catfish and trout. Okay, so let me show you the next spot, a spot that I used to win the Hartwell Online Open. This is a spot I did use because it's quite convenient to the boat dock. It's just straight north. There's the big island that's in the middle of the lake. It's a giant island there. The boat dock is just through it on the other side. But here's a little island. Here's the big island. Here's a little island here. And when you come around the left side of that big island, you run into this island. And you just come straight through here. And dead ahead of you is this boathouse. And over there is the long docks. There's a long dock and a boat ramp. And that's the very last long dock. Here is the raging hot spot. I caught rhino in here. And I've caught multiple over 16-pound largemouth in here. Now, you might think, well, there might be some fish in front of there. Yeah. They're mostly on the right side. And if you stay here long enough, you'll see splashes and bubbles in the water as well. I get pretty close and I medium pitch all through here. Until you see a giant, and then you pitch over at that giant, wherever he may be. But they can be all through this whole area in here. I caught some high 15s, 16s during the tournament to win it on this spot. When spot 1 and 2 weren't giving me enough fish, and I knew I couldn't rely on them through round 3 and 4 to get me the whole bag, I came here.
Those creepers, check with the peepers on that swamp dome.
Doesn't really seem like a whole lot going on. And yet the quality of the largemouth here can be phenomenal. 16's legendary largemouth bass, 16-pound trophies. And yet, you know, sometimes you just got to wait for them and pitch around for them a little bit. But they're here. See, I'm tracking a trophy right now. I don't know what size he is, but he's a trophy. He'll be over 10 pounds. And he is not interested. Now, I will show you where I caught rhino on this spot. He was towards this dock. He was like in here. He came out from under the dock. It started raining. And once I got my lure to this grass, right about here, he came through above the grass. He stopped and he turned and he hit my lure. And I caught rhino for the second time, I believe, that day. Or that might have been the third time I caught him. I know I've caught him 3 times at least. But if you want to really enjoy Bassmaster fishing, get into Hartwell. Get into some of these spots. I've showed you all the spots now that I use to win the Hartwell Open, where you can catch legendary largemouth bass and just have some of the best fun that you can have bass fishing on Hartwell. Oh. You can see some of the largemouth in here of Hartwell. And I guess it says in the description, I guess it says that Lake Hartwell is positioned in between and joining Georgia and South Carolina. So it's a South Carolina lake and it's a Georgia lake. It is one and the same. Very interesting. Just like Seminole is a Georgia, Florida, Georgia line lake. Some of my favorites because they have some of the biggest bass, some of the warmest weather, and some of the prettiest, like, sunny kind of looking lakes. The lake, this lake kind of looks like my home lake, a Smith Mountain Lake in
Not setting any records with that one, but it's a solid keeper. Cha-ching.
Western Virginia. Not West Virginia. I live in Virginia, but I live in the far western part of Virginia. And there is a very popular lake here called Smith Mountain Lake. I just ate a channel catfish out of that lake last summer. It was about 5 pounds. I filleted it. I dispatched it. I filleted it. I caught it on a bluegill of tiny little bluegill on a 2/0 circle hook. With literally with a bass rod. It was awesome. I had such a fight with him. It was a lot of fun. But you can catch catfish fairly easily in that lake. The bass are a little tougher. The bass in Smith Mountain Lake here only get to, like a max. I think the record was like a 10-pounder. So in that sense, it's got like Sabine River style largemouth. Not the most giant largemouth here in Western Virginia on that man-made lake. But I think we've got some really huge striped bass in Smith Mountain Lake, and we've got some big catfish. There's flatheads and there's channels. I don't think there's blue catfish here in Smith Mountain Lake. But we live very close to the James River here. Only not the James River you're probably thinking of. The notorious giant super heavyweight catfish James River. Here where we live in central western Virginia, the James River has been dammed up thoroughly. There's like a bunch of dams between us and those notorious sections of the James River. This section of the James River in here is like pretty bad. There's no like super heavyweight giant fish here because of all the dams that kind of block all the fish from getting this far inland. So I don't often go fishing around here unless my mom wants to go to Smith Mountain Lake with me. Then, of course, I get all my catfish gear together and I go catfish. I used to go bass fishing. Now that I realize how easy it is to catch a catfish, okay? And there's so much more of a battle and a fight than a largemouth bass. I mean, they put up a much better fight. Catfish do. Channel catfish. Unless, of course, you're catching like a 15 or 20 pounder. It's just that 5+ pound channel catfish are quite common.
Big fish, and no whammy.
In the Smith Mountain, it's a lot easier in the Smith Mountain Lake to catch a 5-pound channel cat or say flathead mudcat than it is to actually catch a largemouth bass of that same size. But in this video, I showed you my very best hot spots on Lake Hartwell. All of them. I withheld nothing. These are the spots I come to
Somebody caught a toe.
when I want to have a little fun on Lake Hartwell. And right now, anyway, I'm the best in the world on Lake Hartwell. I won the Open against the very best players in the whole world. I won first place, so I'm going to brag a little bit about it. I'm very, very proud of it. It was hard to win. I was absolutely obsessed with winning that tournament, and I tried every single thing I knew to do so. Including changing my spot. Just about every single time I caught one of the larger size trophies. So as you can see, I have a few spots that I know I'm going to catch a giant trophy sooner or later. And when I caught one, I just simply moved to the next spot, and I continued to get fortunate. I wouldn't say lucky, because I fished a lot on all these spots. I have a ton of hours on each one of them. And today is just one of those days where, like, it's not going to produce like a 16, or a 15. I mean, the largest largemouth I got, 45 degrees here, the biggest one was 14. Whoa, there was a really big one coming in there. The biggest one I got was a 14-14. It's got to be this cold weather, and I'm wearing shorts and a short sleeve shirt.
Not going to set any records with that one. But it's
I'm
a
thinking
solid
that,
keeper
today's going to, well,
to
it's Georgia,
cha-ching.
Florida, it's going to be super warm. That's what I was thinking. There's one. It's a big one. So you can put it in the comments if you want to. What's your man-made lake at home there? What's the nearest man-made lake to you that has bass fishing and catfishing? What are the records, caught? Do you know? How often do you go? Are you going this summer? And, are you going to go fishing in one of these bass lakes for bass or catfish? And this is it.
A Bass Watch
You
sighting.
see, this is the kind of weather that is only going to produce this kind of 14 and 15. And you have attempts like this in the online open. But I'm still going to publish this to YouTube because it's my Bassmaster TV show. It doesn't really matter, like, how many giants I catch necessarily. It's all about just the love of the game in general. That's what this show is all about. It's like if you were fishing in real life, You don't go necessarily to get the biggest fish possible. You're going to, like, basically enjoy yourself fishing. And you're always looking for the biggest whopper you can possibly get, but if you can't get that, if all you can get is 13s and 14s and the weather is adverse or something, then you can just enjoy what you got. Plus, I'm not doing any one of these episodes again because my voice is shot. I did 3 episodes today, 3-hour-long episodes. St. John, Seminole, and now Hartwell, my 3 favorite lakes in this entire game. Who am I kidding? I like them all. I really do. Some of them I haven't quite figured out yet, like Guntersville, Toledo, St. Lawrence, and I got to put Chickamauga in there too. I'm not absolutely sure that I can get a maximum bag there. I'm not absolutely positive. Maybe I should look at Lake Chick here pretty soon. Although, I think most Bassmaster players are fairly confident with their chick game when it comes to trophy largemouth bass, which is what my whole channel is about. I mean, I'm always looking for the bass. That is what I'm about when it comes to Bassmaster.
Check out the green beast from beneath.
There's nothing absolutely unbelievable yet today. A 15, a 14, and a bunch of 12s and 10s. And it must be the weather, 45 degrees. It's just not one of those days that I'm likely to run into one of the 16s. But any one of these spots, guys, any one of them, if you are on a hot day, you'll be amazed with the spot. You see my map where this is. It's fairly easy to find. It's the very first boathouse after the very last long dock. Of those long docks in the middle of the map, the northern central part of the map. It's fairly tame day. And it's funny because just about every single one of my videos today, this was the case. I got on one of those like rough attempts that you have in the open. And that's what happened on my Seminole video. And that is what's happening here in this video. But I guess I could cut it short here. I've got the basic spots here. I've done a bunch of jaw jacking. And I got a heartbeat on this fish, and it's no like pigsty here. It's jumping around. It's like a 10-pounder. Okay, so you got my spots now. I want you to say goodbye to my man Moses, Abraham, Jacob, Isaac, Jackson, Brown, Johnson. Thanks for watching the video. Bye-bye.